Welcome to Sidelines with Stoyan. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan, and in the sporting world today, wow, we're going to talk about everything from the NHL playoffs, mixing a little bit about the Blue Jays, and also touch on the NFL regarding Aaron Hernandez. What a sad story, what a sad ending, but all of our fans out there, hockey fans, it's a good time to be a hockey fan, especially for a Leaf fan, but we're going to save that as we're going to bring on our hockey analyst, Michau. He's going to be coming on after the commercial break. I just do have a couple of things I'd like to talk about before we take that break. One is I'd like to officially introduce our new and close friend, Cecil Martin, former NFL player, and what a kind gentleman, the man who gives back. What an example. So again, Cecil Martin, former NFL player from the Eagles, the Buccaneers, the Raiders. We've been working back and forth, off camera, behind the scenes. I'm sure some people have been noticing through our invitations. We have a big event coming up May 17th, an educational and awareness event here in downtown Toronto. We would like all people to come. You're welcome to inquire. You can go to our website, thedisabilitychannel.ca. Find out all the information. Again, it's May 17th at CSI in downtown Toronto. It's an educational and awareness event. We're going to be doing live shows. We're going to be having a GoFundMe campaign. We're also going to be having some booths set up. One is going to be courtesy of our association, Alware, with Frank Sroka and his team. They're going to be setting up employment opportunities focusing on persons with disabilities. So again, that's May 17th, downtown Toronto, 4 to 8 p.m. We're also going to be having live TV shows, and we're going to be introducing our theme song, if you haven't noticed, called Shining Light, courtesy of Chris Stray. This is all about spreading awareness. All the donations, the sharing, and the downloads are going to be going to the Disability Channel. We've actually sent the song out across Canada to every major AM and FM radio station, including internet stations and university campuses. We hope the program directors like the song, are willing to play the song on their radio stations. And what that will do, well, that will spread the Disability Channel name, it'll spread the community, and it'll bring awareness. So I want to thank all the program directors right across Canada, along with the Canadian Music Week, as we'll be going there after the show today. They have a conference Thursday and Friday downtown Sheridan. All the greatest music minds in Canada are going to be there. So again, we're very excited about what's going on. Do check out our fully and new accessible website, thedisabilitychannel.ca. I want to thank our team for creating that. So many great things going on. It's just really remarkable. But I think what we're going to do, we're going to get back and we're going to focus on sports, especially the NHL playoffs. So do stay tuned. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
I think it's important to be a part of an organization that also will support you in your education as well as in the community.
OPSWA advocate helping PSW. They OPSWA help voice out the voice of the PSW to be heard all over Canada.
Now they're talking about different things that can help us PSWs, like autism and Asperger's. This is new education that we need, that we don't get in school as a PSW.
The conference is helping me today by teaching me about all the other programs offered to PSWs and through OPSWA that I had no idea about before, and all the other programs that I could specialize in or that could help me in my field after this.
My name is Miranda Ferrier, and I'm the president of the Ontario Personal Support Worker Association, and we want to invite you to come out to our conference. At our conference, we celebrate personal support workers, and we understand how important you are to the healthcare field. So come out and join us. You're going to have a great time.
Welcome back to Sidelines. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan, and in the studio today we have our hockey analyst, Michau. We're going to be talking all about the hockey playoffs, a couple other things too, Blue Jays, a little bit of NFL. Michau, welcome to the show today.
Thank you for having me. Always an honor to be here. I feel like family here.
You are family. You are family. So we really thank you for coming on. So let's have it. Give it to us. Let me hear your take on the playoffs so far.
Well, Calgary got swept by Anaheim. I didn't see that coming. I thought that was going to be a hard-fought, 7-game, grinded-out series. I'm just really surprised. Anaheim played well, and their goalie, Bernier, former Leafs goalie, has been playing phenomenally.
Isn't that a little bit of a shocker? So, I mean, but Calgary hasn't won in Anaheim for about 50 years. So it is a little bit of a shocker, but then again, if you can't win in Anaheim, then you're out. But I am a little surprised that they got swept. So next series?
Chicago getting eliminated by Nashville. That was a shocker. Holy smokes, I was not expecting that.
That is a real shocker. Like, first of all, you beat the champs. You beat them 4 straight. And is Subban going to have the last laugh?
I don't know. I mean, I think him and his family are still pretty hurt by the trade out of Montreal. Subban loved Montreal. He loved it with all of his heart. He donated $10 million to the Children's Hospital there. What a guy. What a guy.
Yeah,
humanitarian.
So it's good on him. Looks good on him that now he's having success in Nashville, and he's not as much of the center of attention like he was in Montreal. So I think that can work in his favor because
I don't think he's as much of a success. He missed a bunch of the season with a back issue. I think it was a herniated disc in his back. So I don't think he's having quite as much success as in Montreal.
He was hurt all year, yeah, or most of the year. But I'm saying, if their team goes farther in the playoffs, then he sort of has the last laugh. I mean, good for them. Good for Nashville. They got a great young first line led by Forsberg. So they're really good. We'll see. Okay, moving along now. Who else?
That Roman Polak injury in one of the first games of the Leafs playoff series. That was an ugly injury. Coach Babcock has already said he's out for the season, and one wonders if he's ever going to re-sign with the Leafs or even get another pro contract.
It's very unfortunate because, throughout the season, Roman did have his issues, right? Because he is a little bit slower, but come the last maybe 10 games of the season, and especially the playoffs, he really elevated his game. Like, he covered Ovi. Like, he punished him, too. So, and you know what? Like you said, I think because of his age, because he is a little bit slower, and if this injury is very severe, which it looks like it is, yeah, his days, like you said, might not only be done with us, but they might be done. But let's save the Leafs. Let's finish let's look at the other series.
I didn't write anything.
Columbus,
yeah, got eliminated by Pittsburgh in 5. I honestly thought Pittsburgh was going to sweep that series 4-0, but Columbus winning that one did surprise me.
That surprised me that it went that early. Like, of course,
Pittsburgh are the defending Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah, Pittsburgh are the champs. So, I figured they were going to win it. I didn't figure they were going to win it in 5. I figured it would go at least 6, maybe 7, only because Columbus is such a heavy team. And I thought they would really lean on the Penguins, but...
Well, the captain was injured in their last game for the Columbus, but then again, Pittsburgh's been decimated by injuries on their blue line. They had to bring in 2 other defensemen at the trade deadline in
That's okay. Move it. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's move along. Let's look at Montreal. Montreal and Rangers. What do you think?
It's a good series, a very good series. I think that it's going to be a tight series. I don't know.
I don't think Montreal has the firepower, and you can't rely on Carey Price 24/7, and it's showing. Like Lundqvist, I know Lundqvist isn't as good as Carey, but he's right there. Like he's
aging. He's aging. He's older than Price. He's getting up there in age for goalies.
Pacioretty, no goals. No points. 1 assist, I think.
Shea Weber's been tearing it up, though. Shea Weber's just been a beast. Since he started in Montreal, he got off to the hottest career start of his whole career in Montreal at the beginning of the season.
So who do you think is going to take it?
It's tough to say. I honestly couldn't decide.
I like what Lundqvist said. He goes, "We don't want to come back here." So, like for Game 7. So yeah. I think they're obviously they want to close it up in Game 6, and I think what's going to be the factor in Game 6? Rick Nash. How do you figure that? Well, he played really good last game. I think he's the big body. I think he's going to take the team. I think he's going to score a couple goals too tomorrow night.
And Jack Eichel, that shocking news out of Buffalo yesterday morning that came out of the NHL that Buffalo had relieved both Dan Bylsma and their GM of their duties at the request of star player Jack Eichel, who was threatening to move if they were both re-signed.
I don't know because Bylsma, he's got a Stanley Cup
with Pittsburgh and Crosby.
I wouldn't want to be a Buffalo Sabres fan right now. Like they were just starting to go. They got some great players. Like
Kulikov and Eichel and Evander Kane, star firepower right there.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I guess Leaf fans are loving it. talking about the Leafs, let's talk about the Toronto beloved team now. What's your take?
Toronto, they took a 2-1 series lead, brought it back to Toronto for a second game where they lost, unfortunately, 5-4. That first period was abysmal. 4 goals on I don't know how many shots in that first period. They just couldn't come back, and then Washington sealed the deal with that 5th goal in the third period.
Well, I think Babcock put it right. They just weren't hungry enough. The Leafs were not hungry enough in Game 4, and you could tell.
But as Steve Dangle said, the Leafs have been there all the time, and so Washington. But Washington have really been kind of quiet. Ovi was very quiet in the first game. Didn't do anything. Barely got any minutes. Second game, he only played 16 minutes.
I think they're covering Ovi. I think the Leafs are doing a great job. Where I put the blame on Washington, I put the blame on Holtby. I don't think Holtby has had one good game in the series so far. He's let in some shaky goals. I mean,
they've been throwing beach balls and muffins at him, and he's let them in.
He doesn't normally let in more than 2 goals a game, and he's been letting in 3 or 4 goals every game. But Washington, they finished first in the league for a reason.
They had an injury, but that was to Carl Alsner, an upper body injury. But they've just announced now on NHL.com that he will be back for tonight's game.
Okay, let's look at the Leafs now. How do you think, not player by player, but who stands out and who doesn't stand out on the Leaf team for you?
Bozak and Van Riemsdyk scoring big goal after big goal. Kasperi Kapanen tearing it up in the playoffs. Austin Matthews getting a goal, a couple goals in the series. Marner with a couple goals in the series. And Kadri as well. And speaking of the Leafs, the Selke Trophy, they announced the finals, and Kadri was not on there. And I thought for sure he was going to win the Selke. I thought he was a lock for it.
I thought he was going to be nominated at least.
No, I thought he was going to win it. Like, he deserved to win it. And the fact that he's not even nominated, not even Nugent Hopkins is nominated, not surprised me because he was Edmonton's stud.
I think for me, standout on the Leafs, except for the last game, would be Freddie.
Anderson has played better than Reimer in games 4, 5, and 6 in Boston back in 2012. Freddie has really been top-notch. Like, the best Leafs goalie I've seen in the last 14, 15 years.
Since Eddie or Curtis.
Yeah.
But for me, who needs to step up his game, and I believe he will, is Mitch. I don't think Mitch has been Mitch Marner like we're used to. And maybe that's a playoffs. You don't get much room. Everybody hits a little bit harder.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit closer checking. So maybe Mitch just has to find his groove. But, I mean, he's not missing the boat. I'm just saying he's not exciting the fans like he does with those spin around rushes.
Yeah, and the thing is, Kadri is laying some big hits, and Komarov laying some big hits, Boyle and Martin laying big hits. I'm loving all these hits from these guys Kadri's not really known for his hits, but he's been hitting hard lately, just steamrolling guys like he did in that one Vancouver game, steamrolling one of the Sedin twins.
Do you think Sash has lost his position on the fourth line?
Oh yeah, big time. Sash is gone. I think we need to give Levo, I think he's in his injuries healed. I think we need to give Levo some look at the lineup.
Who are you going to pull out? It's hard.
It's hard, it is. But Levo was playing so well when he was in the lineup.
It's going to be exciting to see what we do over the summer because I think they want to find room for Sash. They want to find room for Levo, and they want to find room for Reichel.
And Kapanen.
Kapanen's on a team. I think
Gauthier as well. Gauthier's played 20 games this season. I think they need to find some room for him and really hone his craft over the summer and just practice day in and day out and get better so he's ready for next season.
I agree, but I don't know if he's going to be able to move Boyle if he decides to sign here because he has been really good.
Boyle has been that veteran presence that we need.
Yeah.
And what I'm so sorry to see is Brandon Prust came out of the free agency with no contract, but the Leafs were saying we're going to keep you in our fold in case guys go down, and we're going to sign you to a contract, and then eventually sign in Europe. My question is, can they sign him this offseason and have another veteran backup presence guy who can say to the younger guys, calm down, we can get back in this and win this?
This is great. I want to, while you're talking, Miko, I'm just sort of overwhelmed by how exciting this is. So I want to tell our viewers again, because sometimes viewers are turning in for the first time. So I just want to tell our viewers, like, Miko, he knows everything you need to know about hockey. Like, the guy's just a stats machine. He loves his sport. But it's more about that. Here at the Disability Channel, we're here about giving people opportunities, including Miko. He has a disability. I have a disability. I have a form of malaria. Miko has a form of autism. But this is what this station's all about. So for the people that are watching or listening and thinking, wow, this is a real different, unique kind of station, give people opportunities, you're right, it is. And this isn't the only show that does it on our platform. Our whole platform gives opportunities for people. So we really want to thank the people for tuning in, for listening, for supporting. But I just wanted to sort of let our viewers know that Michau does have autism. I have a form of malaria. But hey, give us an opportunity and we'll shine just like everybody else. Back to sports. Baseball.
The Blue Jays have been abysmal this year. 2-12 in their last 14 games. They need to take a serious look at what's happening and maybe throw some guys out, bring some guys up from the minors, or even make a flurry of trades, because right now things are just not working for them. The fact that Darwin Barney has the highest batting average, batting higher than Morales, Bautista, that is abysmal.
We have a team of seniors. We've all of a sudden turned into a team of seniors. Like I said, we had a 2-year window opportunity. Within those 2 years, we can the guy or whatever, push him out who made the team.
No, what happened was he had some differences with one of the guys that brought in. And Shapiro and Atkinson, I think, have really ruined this team. They're trying to pull a Boston and Oakland Athletics from that movie, the baseball movie with Brad Pitt. And they just cannot do that again. The Jays are not that team to do that again. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
So we lose AA, then we didn't
and Lywicki as well. And now I learned yesterday that they are both actually with the LA Dodgers now as executives with the LA Dodgers.
Well, I heard Tim Lewicki on the Fan, I think it was a couple weeks ago, when they were talking about when they brought him in, a way he blew everything up and just changed the culture of Toronto.
The losing culture that we've had for many, many years since the 1992-1993 back-to-back championships. So,
okay, before I want to end it with this with the Blue Jays, let me ask you this. How quickly is it going to be before we do the fire sale and we start taking bids for Josh, for Tulo, for Batista, for whoever? Like I think we're going to clean house now.
I don't know. For me, it feels like any day. I do want to touch on one other thing, if I may.
Baseball or move it along?
Hockey.
Okay, go back. Yeah.
That Zach Werenski eye injury, coming from the slap shot of Malkin that ramped up his stick and hit his eye. That was a brutal injury. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw the picture of it. Yeah, and look what Don Cherry says: never put your stick in front of you, because that's what happens.
It ramps up the stick and hits you. Now, changing to football, that Aaron Hernandez death in prison. He technically died an innocent man because he's in the process of appealing his murder conviction in the murder of Odin Lloyd.
Well, maybe innocent by the law and order. But I think he's, he got what he deserved. You want to play on that side of the fence? There's risks. And like I said, I know he was alleged suicide. Terrible no matter what. Nobody should deserve to go that way. However, he was a prize in prison. And I believe that a multi-millionaire NFL football player, yeah, he was big and huge, but there's a lot of guys in prison that are big and huge. And I still think, you know what? Someone was trying to make their mark. Someone was trying to get their reputation in prison, and they got him. Now, I could be wrong. He might have committed suicide because, just look at his life. He was on top of the world, just signed, a $50 million contract.
And then he fell to the bottom.
So if he did commit suicide, depression probably set in real quick.
I'm wondering, one of my friends on Facebook was saying that he may have had CTE, that degenerative brain condition that a lot of former football players get and end up killing themselves.
That's very well true. Like you said, how many players get hit in the head all the time, right?
All the time. Those helmets are heavy, and I have to believe that they add to the impact of the head injury.
So before I let you go, because we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and wrap the show, but before I do let you go, who's going to be tonight's winners between Washington and Toronto?
It's hard to say. With Washington getting Carl Alsner back, Toronto's going to have to figure things out. They're going to have to, I think, shuffle their lines. They put Matthews on the third line, and they put Hyman back on his line. No, they need to, I think, put Matthews back in the first line and just put that three-headed beast of him with Marner and either Kadri or Nylander. And for the defensive pairings, the two defensive pairings I've liked for the top line is Morgan Riley with either Matt Hunwick or Alexei Marchenko.
So who's going to win? Pick.
I have to say Toronto, but it's going to be a grinded out win in my
And eyes. Who's going to be the star of each team?
I have to say Wilson or Alsner or Ovi for Washington, and Freddie or Kadri, Van Riemsdyk, Bozak, or Matthews, or maybe even Marner. Maybe he surprises us tonight.
All right, sure. Well, thanks for joining us today, Michau. He's going to be back next time on the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're not finished yet. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back and wrap it up with a couple notes. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in today. For you Leaf fans out there, go Leafs, go. For the other fans out there, root for your team. NHL is a wonderful time this time of the year. Let's still hope the Blue Jays have a chance. Don't know about that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Sidelines. Back to Sidelines. We just had on our hockey analyst Michau, and we talked all about the NHL playoffs, mixed in a little bit of Blue Jays, and of course NFL with Aaron Hernandez. So I want to thank Michau for coming on. He's going to be on again, a regular on our show, and there's going to be more exciting things happening with Michau and others on our station here. Again, I want to announced that former NFL player Cecil Martin has become a close friend of the station. Watch for Cecil, as he's going to be involved with a lot of great things we're doing here on our platform. He's also going to be our keynote speaker on May 17th at our event at CSI. It's an educational and awareness event. We hope everybody can come out. If you want to find out more information regarding that event, you can email myself personally, jay@thedisabilitychannel.ca. You can also go to our website, www.thedisabilitychannel.ca, as you can look around. We have a lot of great things on our new website, including a fully accessible website. We have our theme song called Shining Light, which is going to be hopefully across the airwaves in Canada. You can download that. All proceeds go towards the disability station. We also have introduced Patreon. That's just a donation platform. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to grow our station, grow our footprint. We need your support. We need your help. We belong like every other station on the dial, because what we do is really unique. We showcase abilities within and on the outside of the disability community, bridging the gap. So again, you're watching Sidelines with Stoyan. I would love to hear your comments. You can join us on Facebook. We have the Disability Channel page. You can join me personally on Twitter @JStoyan, or you can join our channel page on Twitter @TDChannel1. We would love to hear from you. We love to interact. We're very active on Twitter and on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. So we're out there. We hope to connect with you. If we can support your event, if we can support your organization, do let us know. I want to thank all of our sports fans for tuning in. You've been watching Sidelines with Stoyan. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. We'll see you next time.